Welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views, Ireland's first live web TV weekly news programme with over 2 million viewers worldwide, and we are on a web TV site near you. My name is Aine Duffy and we bring the programme to you weekly on Fridays, live 7 to 8 Greenwich Mean Time. Each week we take a look at what is going on in the county and we invite guests to chat live in the studio. If you have an event you want us to know about or an issue you would like discussed, please email us at drumlinmedia@gmail.com. So, anything interesting going on, please do let us know. Now you can watch Cavan TV 24/7 at the following link. It's new.livestream.com. You can download that app for free onto your phone and you can see Cavan TV anywhere, anytime. I'd like to thank my resident photographer, that's Martin Sheridan Baileyborough, who sends us a photograph each week. Now have a look at this. This is the Cathedral in Cavan. Wow, isn't that a fantastic picture? Well done, Martin, and keep those photos coming in. And remember as well, folks, if you have a photograph with a story behind it and you'd like to send it in to us, do email it to us at drumlinmedia@gmail.com. Well, National Culture Night was last week, and what a night that was, and there was so much going on around Cavan, and I hope you did at least get to see one event. We'll have a little bit more on that later. The good news this week is that the weather is pleasantly mild for this time of the year, but the evenings are getting darker earlier and the leaves are beginning to fall. And that's for the benefit of our viewers abroad. And as we do every week, I'd like to say hi to those who log on and watch us all over the world. And you too can email us your news and views on drumlinmedia@gmail.com. What went on nationally this week? Well, the National Ploughing Championship was on this week, and judging by all media coverage of the event, it was very successful, and indeed it is much more than ploughing. A brilliant ambassadorship. Everything brought loads of people from all over the world to the Irish National Ploughing Championships. Last week we had horse trainer Shane Donoghue in the studio, and he was telling us about the fundraiser Chasing Champions. That's to raise funds for the Robbie McNamara Trust. That takes place this Sunday, that's Sunday the 27th, in the Equestrian Centre, and it starts at 4:30. So if you're a horsey person or not, go along and see some of the top names in show jumping and flat racing. You've got AP McCoy, Richard Hughes, Robert Power, Nina and Paul Carberry, to name but a few. So let's go to some of the local town news this week. Well, we say the best of luck to the active Virginians who are playing bowls in the All-Ireland competitions this week down in Donegal. We wish Margaret Hopkins especially and her team the very best of luck. In Den, train for the Couch to Christmas 5K. You can do that on Tuesday and Thursday nights 8 to 9 in the local GAA grounds, and all levels of fitness are welcome. In St. Joseph's Hall in Ballyghamesduff tonight, it's comedy night. Seamus O'Rourke performs Indigestion. Funds raised will go to the Cavan Bell Repatriation Fund. Curtains up at 9 o'clock and admission is €10. In Belturbet on Sunday mornings there is a car boot shop. Now they emailed us to say that if you have anything you want to donate, please contact Imelda on 049 952 2530 and she'll see if she can take it. And all fund raised from that goes towards the Tidy Towns in Belturbet. In Bonboy Templeport there is social dancing in the Resource Centre on Thursday nights. It starts at 8 o'clock and everybody is welcome. The Autumn Craft and Gift Fair is on this Sunday in the Slieve Russell Hotel. There's plenty of homemade goods, craft supplies and artisan giftware. It starts at 12, goes right through till 5 and admission is free. Cavan Badminton Club starts again on Wednesday nights and it's in the Sports Hall in Breffni College. It's from 7 to 8:30. Beginners and experienced players, everybody is welcome. The Harvest Thanksgiving Festival is in St. Ernan's Hall in Kingscourt this Sunday at 3 o'clock. The guest preacher is Mr. Colin Jenkins, and he's of the mission to seafarers, and he will do the talk on the day. There is a retirement party for school principal George Cartwright in the Chantilly Inn tonight. George retires from Banner National School after 30 years of service there, so well done. There is a tractor run in Lavey this Sunday, and it's the 6th annual one, and funds will go for Little Jake's sake and the Noel Smith Memorial Fund. So that'll take me to my first guest tonight. I spoke at the beginning about Culture Night, and one of the ladies who was involved in Culture Night, Wendy Swan, is here in the studio this evening. So for my first three guests this evening, I've got Wendy Swan from out there in Kilmore, Mary Young, Mary Morrow, and Winston Heaslop, and they're in to tell us a little bit of the history and the interesting things that they have out there in Costoni. Well done. Thanks, Wendy. Wendy, how did Culture Night go?
It was a fantastic night, wonderful night. We had poetry reading with Heather Brent and Noel Monaghan, and the Kilmore Cathedral Choir sang 6 pieces, and we had a guided tour. I took the people up along the sandy walk up to the Cathedral Hall, where we had all sorts of lovely refreshments. Patricia Riley and Anne Marie Ward, they came out and they put lights all round the Romanesque doorway, and they lit the sandy walk the whole way up to the hall and up the steps through a tunnel. It was magically.
So it was a great night for Culture Night.
It was a great night, yeah.
So I forgot to introduce you folks. Wendy is a retired farmer.
That's right, yeah.
And you have a great interest in local history, thus the story of that. And you also give tour guides around the area, including Clogher.
That's right,
okay?
Yeah.
And Mary, you are involved in the Mothers' Union out there in Kilmore. Yeah. And Winston, you are the sexton of the cathedral out there in Kilmore.
Yes.
Tell me, what is a sexton? What does a sexton do exactly?
The sexton is responsible for running the cathedral. The sexton's job is to clean the cathedral, prepare for each service. If there's a communion service, you take out the communion, set the communion table.
And you tell me about ringing the church bell. That was really,
ring the bell, and we ring it, say a funeral now, ring it 3 times, 3 strikes for a man and 2 for a woman.
So that's the way it goes. So it'll go 3 strikes,
just
take
3,
a break,
and then it'll pause for maybe 3 or 4 minutes before you ring again.
I never knew that.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes, yeah.
So you take care of the church out there. There's a lot of history out there in Kilmore as well. Like that's where Bishop Bedell was, isn't that right, Wendy?
That's right, yeah. Well, first of all, Kilmore has been a place of Christian worship from the 6th century, when St. Felemy established a church there, and he belonged to the MacBrady family, and he came from over Leitrim Longford way. Since then there's been a church around the place up to this present day, and that's where our present cathedral gets its name from, St. Felemy. And Phelim,
we've got some pictures we might be able to pull up.
Phelim or Phelim, whichever way you wish to pronounce his name. That's the cathedral there.
In all its glory, that's St. Phelim's Cathedral in Kilmore.
And
next one up, we're going to talk about this fantastic door.
Romanesque doorway. That has an interesting history, the Romanesque doorway. It's a 12th century doorway, and it originated on an ancient monastery in, well, they're not sure whether it was Tunnymore or Slanore, but it was moved then down to Trinity Island, where an abbey was built in 1237. And after the abbey was demolished in 1635, it was moved to the old cathedral at Kilmore, and then taken down and put in the present cathedral in 1860.
So that's there. The doorway is there since 1860. How long is the actual cathedral there?
It was built in between 1858 and 1860.
So that's called the new cathedral.
That's called the new cathedral. Yes, yes.
Okay. So we've got more pictures now. This is the tree, and this is going to bring in. I'm not leaving you out, Mary. Don't worry. We'll get to you and the Mothers' Union. This is the famous tree, Winston, that you reckon is one of the oldest trees in Ireland, perhaps.
Well, Cavan anyway. It's a sycamore tree. It was planted in 1632 by Bishop William Bedell.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier about the plaque that was on it that said that.
There was a plaque on up to about maybe 20 years ago, and it disappeared off. It was wrote on the plaque was this tree was planted by Bishop William Bedell in.
That's called the Bishop's tree.
Yeah, 1632.
And that's in the grounds of the church, or is it at the Bishop's house?
It's up beside the old cathedral.
The old cathedral.
Yes.
Okay. Now the Mothers' Union, this is where Mary comes in. The Mothers' Union, they do good charitable work, but that was set up really to help mothers in the parish, wasn't it?
Yes.
In England, many years ago.
It was set up by Mary Sumner in 1876, and to give spiritual guidance and practical help to young mothers. It started off small and gradually grew to about 4 million members now in 77 countries. And our local branch of Mothers Union in Kilmore and Ballintemple, we have 22 members. And in the diocese, there is 19 branches altogether, and with 415 members.
So when do you meet, or when do you meet? Do you meet on Sundays, or when is it?
Yeah, our branch would meet on a Tuesday, one night in the month on a Tuesday night, and we meet in Danesford, and we usually have a speaker to come on certain topics and different things.
But the role of it now has changed from looking after the mothers really to the mothers now are doing more charitable work within the parish.
Yes, Mothers Union does do a lot of charity work and a lot of projects in Africa, and
so outside the country as
we
well.
have done local projects.
Yeah.
Shoebox of Aine.
Yeah, the shoebox of Aine.
Okay, and actually as well,
At the moment now we're just starting
for
with
Christmas.
that.
So you'd like to put it out there. So you're looking now, telling people, reminding people to get the shoebox.
Yes.
filled.
Oh yes.
And where will you be sending the boxes to?
Well, we send our shoeboxes down to Cathedral, down to Lisa and McMeekin in Cathedral.
Yeah.
And although I think McDonald's in Cavan used to take them, but I don't think that is happening. I don't think it happened last year. So
there's another example of your good work done in Cavan General Hospital on the paediatric wards. There is murals there, and it's donated by the Mothers Union of Kilmore.
yes, that was some years ago now. I
So
think
that's the kind of
Mel
thing you like to
Doherty,
do.
he would have.
Yeah, he
I
did
think
it.
he was did the murals for
Okay.
us. Yeah.
So Kilmore and the surrounding area and Crostoni is a beautiful old area, and we had the crowd in from Kilmore, from Crostoni before talking about the fair, and it is a beautiful place, Wendy, and it is a place full of history as well. You've got Lismore House, you know, that's been revamped now at the moment. But you've brought in that's Clahuter Castle as well. That has been revamped as well.
That's right.
And Wendy, you do tours out on boat on that, don't you?
Yeah, well, I haven't a boat. I can only take people to the shoreline and show them the castle and tell them a little bit about the history of it. It's built on a crannog, and it's 60 foot high, 49 foot wide, and the walls are 7 feet thick, and it was built by the de Lacys, and then the O'Reillys took it over, and then the O'Rourke's, and it was used for a prison. And if the O'Rourke's weren't in prison in it, the O'Reillys were in prison in it. And it was sold one time for 20 cows.
Imagine, yeah.
And the O'Reillys captured it one time. They waited out in the wood until the O'Rourke's came out for firewood, and they chopped off their heads, put on the O'Rourke's garments, and took the castle back, fortress back.
When you're digging up all this history, Wendy, where do you go to find it?
Well, you go to the library.
You go into the books in the library and dig it up.
Yeah.
So you really have an interest for history, don't you?
Yeah. Well, there were two famous men associated with the castle. Bishop William Bedell, he was in prison there for 3 weeks, and then Owen O'Neill.
That's the famous one.
That's the famous one.
And of course, for people out there, Bishop Bedell is famous for translating the Bible,
the Old
Testament
into
Gaeilge.
That's right. Yeah. And
he's buried out there, isn't he?
He's buried out at Kilmore at the Cathedral in the old graveyard.
And can people go along to see them there? You let them in there?
Oh
Wednesday,
yeah. Just ring up and we'll meet anybody. Large groups, small groups.
Great. So we've got some more old pictures coming up. Tell us this now. And of course, the Crostoni had a train station at one time.
It had indeed. Crostoni was a hive of activity at one time. It had a shop and post office, another shop and pub, and a creamery, a sawmill, and the railway
It
station.
still has those things, Wendy.
Yeah, it has.
It has still. It hasn't changed much in 115 years.
No.
You reckon that picture is about
Around
circa
1920. The man in the middle there, his name's Harry Kerr. He was the station master at the time.
Did he live in the little house there, of
He
course?
did
Yeah.
indeed, and I see they're clearing it off, and it's going up for sale now.
I hope the right person gets it and
it
makes a good job of it.
Makes a good job of
And
it.
moving on, we've got some other. Now,
yeah.
this is the Chantilly Inn, isn't it?
That's the Chantilly Inn. That was Charles Rourke's post office and grocery business, and that would have been taken, I suppose, around the 1930s as well. And this is now the Chantilly Inn.
And Crostoni is still to one side, like
I
it
said
always was.
it is indeed.
And look at this now. You would never think that was Armstrong's shop.
That's an old photograph. Two of the ladies there in that last photograph at the railway station, they were Longs, and they owned that shop. And a niece sent me that photograph last year. Now there was a pub there as well. Lord's owned a pub there. Leahy's owned a shop there. Beatty's. And then the Long family owned a shop, Eccleston's, and then in my own time, Powers and Jervis and Ruth Armstrong. They carried on, present day owners. But that's not the present day house, that was the old house, and it was demolished, and then where Jervis and Ruth live is the present house.
So, to talk about Crostoni again, the cathedral has, an interesting point as well, is that the builder or the architect of the cathedral, he also built the St. Phelim's Church in Ballinal, which is now demolished.
That's right.
Around the same time. So
Killigary, he built Killigary as well. Yeah.
Killishandra.
St. Bridget's in Killishandra.
So that church hasn't changed anything really.
Not since 1860. No.
So, Wendy, so if anybody goes to you, where do they get your guides, or how do they get your tours, or what way does that work out?
Well,
how do you do that?
We have a brochure. I think they're all gone now. Our phone numbers were on it, but word of mouth seems to get through anyway, and I get phone calls.
So you bring them all around to Kilmore
Yeah.
Cathedral and the Sandy Walk. You can bring somebody to Clouth and tell the story. So you won't bring them out on the boat.
No boat.
You haven't got the boat yet, but you can work on the boat.
And then we have Killikeen. There's some lovely places to go to around this area, and the beautiful wood and the little bridge and the pleasure house, and then you have Fleming's Folly there near Bellingham.
Did you ever think of writing about it?
I did. I wrote a book one time and published it in 2002.
What's the name?
All Lovely Kilmore. And
so there you are, folks. If you want to have,
still some copies available.
Go into the library and request it anyway. Yes. So well done. And the Mothers Union is doing its bit out there as well. Anybody, as long as you have to be a lady, of course, to join the Women's Union.
Well, it has been known men join Mothers Union. Like, it's not just for married women, like mothers.
That's
or
a good
that.
point
like,
as well. It's just
ladies, grandmothers, young women, anybody can join. Yeah.
And on an interesting point there, Winston, you're the sexton of Kilmore Cathedral. How did you get to become a sexton? Is it handed down to you or anything like that?
Well, I was church warden at the time, and the Benny North was the sexton, and he retired, and I was always had my eye on the job.
So you wanted
I learned an awful lot.
You wanted to ring that bell.
I learned an awful lot from Benny North, so I did. So the job come up, and Dean came interviewed me in a couple of church wardens. So I'm sexton now since August 1991.
Good stuff. So you're there, and you're there for as long as you want to be, for life, or as long as you want to be?
As long as you want, yes.
As long as you want to be.
I love the job, and I meet an awful lot of tourists every day, people every day.
And so if a tourist or people wandering, they say, can you tell us about the place? You would gladly do so and tell them the history and about Bishop Bedell and his grave and the tree. So we have two men working on that looks after the graveyards, Paddy Clancy and Arthur Mordy. And if anyone comes, Arthur will give me a ring.
said that someone wants to get into the cathedral.
They're from the rural social
Yes,
scheme.
yes.
Right, okay. And what's the little house at the gateway? That's just a gatehouse.
That was the gatehouse in the old sea house. And you see the two piers beside the gatehouse?
Yeah.
There was gates in them, and that was a private road at one time. Them gates was locked at night. So the sexton would have lived in that gatehouse at one time.
Right. Now, what time do you lock up the church every night? You know.
Well, the church is locked all the time.
Yeah.
It's only locked when I'm there. I just open it. It's locked when there's no one. When I'm not there, it's locked.
And of course, you have a wonderful choir out there as well.
We have.
With Vera.
Vera Pollocks, well, we're lucky we have a good few organists, but Vera's the main one. We have Elizabeth Hislop and we have Harriet Brown and Daphne Scott, and they take it in turn. And then our former Dean and Rector, he's the choir master, and he has them all in lovely robes. So it's a beautiful
Nice,
choir.
Yeah, okay. Well done, folks. Thank you so much for coming in from Crestoni and sharing your history. And Wendy, thanks for bringing in the old photographs of Crestoni. That's really interesting. Thank you for coming in. No doubt we'll hear from you again, Wendy. I'd like to say thanks to Mary Morrow and to Winston Heaslip for coming in all the way from Kilmore into Cavan TV tonight. Thank you. Don't go away, folks. Now you're going to see Cavan TV was out and about in the town today, and we were, as you know, Aircom has now rebranded itself. And it's now Air. And the shop in town, they launched themselves today, and Cavan TV was there, and we met the guys in the shop, and we met the captain of the senior Donegal team, Michael Murphy. Have a look at this.
Here we are in Main Street, Cavan today, and we're outside, which was the Meteor shop. On the 16th of September last, Meteor has rebranded to Air, where Aircom was originally known for as a landline provider, but recently it has turned its attention to broadband, to mobile, to Air TV. It offers its customers and its consumers great bundles, and especially for business people, great bundles for business people. Well, today in Cavan, in the Air shop, they've got a fantastic promotion day. Later on we'll be speaking to Martin and to Dara, and they have today the ambassador for Air, and that is Michael Murphy, the captain of the Donegal team. So a great day planned ahead for the launch, the rebranding of Air here in Main Street, Cavan. And with me now is Michael Murphy, and Michael is the captain of the senior Donegal team. Michael, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming along to Cavan today.
Brilliant to be here.
Yeah, and a grand morning as well. Okay, so the connection is, of course, that Aircom, which is now Air, is the sponsor for the All-Ireland Championship.
Yeah, that'll be true. The All-Ireland GA Championship, which we're competing ourselves, and Donegal and Cavan here themselves will also compete in it. Air would be one of the sponsors of that championship, and also obviously that is finished and been finalised there last week with Dublin, the winners of the All-Ireland Championship. So as I say, that's how we managed to be here today.
Yeah, so we know Donegal team really well. We spoke to you about 3 years ago when you stopped off in the Kilmore on the way home with the cup.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Great times.
They were good times. Right now we've got a mixture of some good times and some maybe not so great times, but by and large now we had a fantastic experience that time we came to Cavan and Kilmore, and it was just brilliant. It was
Jim McGuinness was on a roll then, wasn't he?
He was the manager of the team, of the troops, and we were coming back up from Dublin, and we stopped in Cavan. It would have always been a route any time we would have always travelled to Dublin.
That's right, and I can say that your stop, like the Donegal team stop in Cavan, was so exciting for Cavan. They might as well have won the cup as well. But talking football these days, as you say, last Sunday was the culmination of the whole All-Ireland thing. Looking back on it, Michael, what would you think, like with all the changes going around and the way football has developed in its day and the new rules and everything like that, is the game still the game?
Yeah, it is, without a doubt. I suppose when you see it in its finest, and obviously people were maybe a wee bit sceptical of how the game maybe panned out there last week.
Is it getting a bit too tactical?
I'm not too sure about too tactical. I think tactically things are very, very healthy. Obviously people are on about defensive football now. We've been a bit of an eyesore, but I think there's challenges out there for managers, coaches and players alike to try and overcome it and try and find ways of overcoming it. And I think teams like the two teams that have played at the weekend, Kerry and Dublin, have found ways to combat it and found ways to get on. So I think it's in a healthy space, and I think now with the inclusion with educated coaches and educated players, I think we can keep pushing it forward.
Okay, well done. Now, as the season is over, as you would say, what happens now? Do you take a break, or do you go straight in, as the politicians say, we never stop canvassing? Do you straight go in back into training, upgrade everything? How does it go, or do you take a break?
You suppose we start playing with the club, or we've played with them the whole way throughout the year, but we solely focus now on club football, and obviously we have been doing that in Donegal over the last month and a half now, and we actually got beat with my club in Glenspilly there in the quarter-final of the championship, which is a bit unfortunate and disappointing, but that's the way life goes on, and you have to go back now playing league football, take maybe a month's break, and then we get stuck back into training then again with Donegal.
Okay, well done, Martin. Thank you for speaking to us today on Cavan TV News and Views, and the best of luck with your club and county football.
Thanks, Million.
And a great day here in the Air shop here in Cavan, Main Street, Cavan. This is Dara, and Dara is the manager of the shop here in Cavan. A great day, Dara. Lots of people buzzing around.
Yeah, lots of things happening outside here. We have Michael Murphy here beside us as well from the Donegal GAA team. A few girls outside handing out flyers, a few draws happening, free prizes.
Bars of chocolate.
Free bars of chocolate, yes, everything. It's a pop-in store, you'll have your chocolates.
So the main thing is Dara, is that Aircom, as it was known now, has rebranded itself to Air.
That's correct, yeah.
Now you explain that to us.
The rebranded from Aircom used to be more or less related to landline phones, but now they are Air, which they do the television, they do broadband, they do telephones, and they do mobile telephones. Those are the great business packages for anybody that's in business in town, any local sole trader, limited companies that can pop in the store, see myself or Martin. We talk to them, go through the new plans that we Air have, and we'll go through all that with them.
So really what you could say, Dara, is that Aircom has come out of the closet with its landline things, and it's now in the future, it's doing everything that you can get, that you possibly can get, got to do with mobile phones and televisions and everything like that. Yeah. And they do now, it's great stuff for the ordinary consumer on the street, and also you talked about the business deals for the business people.
Exactly, yeah, consumer and business now, they do all that. People may not have known that before, but they do, and as I say, they do it all now. Anything at the home, that combine television, mobile phone, tablets, anything like that, their internet all together in one. So.
Okay, great. So you're having a great day here today, Dara. Thanks. So guys out there, so if you're watching, you know that if you want to know anything about Air, come in and talk to Martin or Dara in the shop here in Main Street, Cavan.
Thank you, Aine.
And welcome back. You're watching Cavan TV News and Views. I'd say well done and thanks to my guests that came in there from Crostonia, to Wendy, Mary and to Winston. Okay, so all summer we've had tractor runs every week, there were a couple of runs every Sunday, and it seems to be a great way of raising funds, tractor runs. So we're going to hear all about another tractor run tonight, and with me now in the studio I'd like to introduce Martina Smith from Lavey, Michael Smith from Lavey, and Catherine Rudden, and they are neighbours out there in Lavey. Now, on this Sunday, the 27th, is the 6th annual Lavey Tractor Run, and it's doing work. It's raising funds for two charities, and we're going to talk about that. The first one is A Little Jake, and the second one is a memorial of Noel Smith, who passed away earlier this year. We'll talk about that. Okay, so well done, folks. I was just about to say to you there during the break, tractor runs are a great way of raising money.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So what? You put it out there, tractor run, and it's the registration fee of the tractor. That's how you make the money, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's correct.
right,
Yeah.
Catherine, you get as many tractors in as you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
The normal way of, there's a registration on the morning of the tractor run. So everybody meets up at about 11:30. They sign the registration form and they pay the €20 admission fee. That entitles them to, we'll say, the run, a break for refreshments, a raffle, and this year there's also a memorial cup in memory of my brother who passed away in July of this year. I suppose it's kind of a legacy that's going to, go on and on, just in relation to all the work that my brother has done for charities. I think
we have a picture of Noel that
Lavey,
we can bring
that's
in.
right.
Brought in a nice picture of Noel, and we can talk about Noel passed away at a very young age.
Yeah, Noel, he was unfortunate that he picked up a disease in February, or just, a viral disease, mystery kind of an illness, and he spent 25 weeks in hospital. So he passed away on the 4th of July. Very active member in the community, born, reared, worked, everything, you know, in Lavey. So everybody in the community, you know, knew Noel. He even rang the bell at funerals in the church, and he was everybody's right-hand man. So, you know, just I suppose, you know, as a way of gratitude or a way of always, you know, remembering Noel, the tractor committee decided that this year the tractor run would be held in memory of Noel and Memorial Cup for future years.
So there you are, there's a picture
Yeah.
of Noel there.
Yeah.
Okay. And as well, Michael, Noel, even last year, he did lots of work with the tractor and raised funds for, is it a niece or a nephew? Somebody?
A grandniece.
A grandniece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did something to do with meningitis.
Oh dear, yeah.
So they organised it and it made up on
Yeah.
the
And little did you know, it's
Yes, I know.
So
I
that's
know,
the nice thing that you're going to do now. You're going to raise funds in Noel's name and in a
Yeah.
memorial thing, have the
Yeah.
Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that will then go on, in turn, go on to help some other
That's
other
correct.
charity, some
Yeah,
other
yeah,
work. So that,
yeah.
that's a brilliant thing. That's a
Yeah.
lovely thing to do.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
also hoping, you know, that a proportion of the money, you know, some of it it's going half with little Jake's sake, which is a neighbour just down the road,
Mm.
who's fighting an illness at the moment as well,
Yeah.
a wee baby, not even a year old. And then on the other side of that, then there's funds hopefully to go to palliative care, because they, you know what I mean, would have looked after Noel in the final days and, you know, done all they could to
Yeah.
keep him comfortable. And it's, you know, it's a fantastic charity.
Yeah. Again, really worthwhile causes.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
never know when we
Yeah.
need these sort of
That's right.
services.
Yeah.
And yes, folks,
Mm.
time. Everybody should donate things like
Yeah.
that. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
that brings me to Martina and Jake. He's your little nephew, isn't
He
it?
is, yeah.
Tell me
Jake-
all about Jake.
Little Jake Smith was born on the 20th of November, a very healthy 9 pound 13 ounces.
Bouncing baby boy.
Bouncing
yeah.
baby
Yeah.
boy to very proud parents, my brother Porrick, his wife Andrea, and siblings Aine and Joseph. On the 20th of November, as I said, unfortunately 4 weeks later, he was diagnosed with grade 4 congenital glioblastoma multiforme, abbreviated as GBM, which is a highly aggressive malignant form of brain cancer. So shocking, not something that we expected for Christmas as well, but so I suppose Jake has embarked on multiple brain surgeries and a course of intense chemotherapy. So today Jake is he's 10 months old now, a fantastic little boy, battling for life on a daily basis.
Yeah. Now, just to get the picture, he's in a Dublin hospital. Is
He is being treated in Crumlin.
Yeah.
His surgeries take place in Temple Street, so shout out to all the staff in Temple Street and Crumlin, and also in Cavan General Hospital.
Mm.
And
we can put up a photo of Jake. It's going to come up in a second. We'll see Jake.
okay.
So, there he is. Look at, and now that's more important there. You've got your account number there, Martina. You go on, tell us all that now. He's going to lead lots of donations and money for his care to alleviate, maybe it's to help the family with a long-term stay in Dublin. And,
Yeah.
and as we know, okay, our health services as it is, it just doesn't provide and cover everything. A little bit helps and a little bit goes a long way. So if you want to tell us about the
I suppose,
donations.
Anya, life as we know it has changed for my brother and his wife and for
Sure,
the
that
family.
was a life-changing
So,
diagnosis, sure was. Yeah.
You know, you feel very helpless in times like this when you're dealing with something that's so sinister and unknown, basically. It's a very rare type of brain cancer that he's battling at the moment. So I suppose myself and my family, along with a few others, decided that it was time to get up and do something worthwhile and something that would be useful for Porrick and Andrea and their family. So
it's to help them cope with this and,
out of that,
fund some of the costs and the expense.
Of course.
And the upset that it's caused to the family, because are they able to work?
No, Porrick and Andrea have now become Jake's full-time carers. He does need round-the-clock care and attention. Out of that, the For Little Jake's Sake non-profit organisation was set up. And as the picture shows, their donations can be made via the Facebook page, and by lodging to that account, We only launched the charity on the 1st of May, and we have just received some overwhelming support, as you say, for the treatment and care of Jake and his family, whatever guise that might be.
Got more little pictures of Jake.
Yeah, he is beautiful, and I just
He's
urge.
a little fighter, isn't he?
He is. He's an inspirational little boy. For everyone that has been lucky enough to meet him, he's just overwhelming. What Jake has overcome in his short young life so far has been nothing more than mesmerising. And anyone that looks at his picture just falls in love with him.
You would not know he was sick.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Beautiful.
He takes it all in his stride, I have to say, and bounces back after every hurdle with immense courage and strength. So we're very proud of him, and we're delighted to have him in our lives, and wish to do so for a long time. And hopefully he'll one day be sitting here talking to you. Only that's our goal. So I urge your viewers to log on to our Facebook page, and they'll see lots more photographs of Jake and join his journey and see him as the inspiration that we see him as. And like I said, they can support via the Facebook page, and the community support and beyond has been immense. And it's kind of it's ironic that we're sitting here today with my neighbours.
With your neighbours, and you're both doing so much, and your families are so good and working for charity as well. Noel did his good work, and now it's kind of like doing full circle coming around. That's absolutely fantastic. So that's great for Lavey. Now, Catherine, this is the 6th year of the tractor run. So kind of like, what charities did you help in the previous years?
Initially, the tractor run was set up because we had done some renovations on our church in Upper Lavey, St Dimna's Church, Upper Lavey. And then the first year, obviously, the donations went towards the church funding. And then the next year it went to Lower Lavey, St Dimna's Church, Lower Lavey, for works that was carried out on the community centre. So every year it's kind of altered between Upper Lavey and Lower Lavey. And then, you know, I suppose whatever cause is in need, so you know what I mean.
Well done.
Yeah.
So like on the day, obviously you want as many people to turn up on their tractors on the day.
Come and support, and it'll be a great fun day out.
So the registration fee is
€20.
Is 20 euros. Bring your tractor on the day. Is there any other ways on the day? Like, have you got raffles?
We do, there's a raffle on the day, and obviously people can donate if they wish. You don't have to take part in the tractor run. There'll be lots of fun, music and crack
and support
afterwards or during in the Lavey Inn. So everybody's welcome. It'll be a fun day. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's the first time I've ever been involved in a tractor run, and now there's 2 major ones coming up.
Do you know what? You're looking so pretty and glamorous there tonight. I'd love to see you driving up there on a tractor.
I have my tractor shined up.
Seriously?
I don't know, a very brave member of the community.
I don't know.
I'm going to leave my high heels at home on. I've got my wellies. I've got my wellies ready.
You'll be able to drive with those.
I'm going to drive on Sunday, so for any viewers that aren't doing anything on Sunday, you should definitely come and see that. I'll definitely give you a laugh.
They think they were back at the ploughing championship. Well done. And so, Michael, are you going to take to the wheel on Sunday?
No, I'll help them out with my son is driving our tractor.
Yeah. So Noel had always an interest in the tractor, so hadn't he over the
from
years?
day one. He was involved from day one. Yeah.
So he probably was one of the initial the founders of it.
He obviously was. He was on that.
Back a few years ago, a friend, co-worker, we'll say, of Noel's as well, was involved in an accident, and there was numerous, different ways of fundraising just to help out with his needs and physio and rehabilitation and stuff, including, I don't know what the exact word is, they took a digger out of the bog below in Belturbet on the Ballyconnell-Belturbet border.
That fundraiser, I actually think Cavan TV has the video.
That's right.
In there somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. Because we didn't know about that. Now we would have been able to. But we will put it up on the net again.
That's right. Then obviously it followed on then through P&S Quarry, and then the, numerous tractor runs. Yeah. So I think every week of the year, every Sunday of the year is booked up with a tractor run.
With a tractor run. They're a great way of raising money. Right, folks, that's it. You're absolutely inspirational, and you spoke really lovely about little Jake, and I think if anybody
is
hears
marvellous.
that, they will
Yeah.
want to donate.
yeah.
And well done
Absolutely,
to the Smith
absolutely.
family and to the
Yeah.
both Smith families.
Yeah.
It's great to see neighbourly love and neighbours digging each other out, literally
Yes.
speaking,
Yes.
not out of box, but
Yes.
helping each other
Yes.
out. It's great to see it. You're a great example of it. I do wish and I do hope that you have a brilliant day on Sunday and that you
Thank you very
raise
much.
as much money as you can for 2 very good causes. Well done. The best
Thank
of
you very
luck with
much,
your
Thank you very
6th
much.
Thank you very
annual
much.
tractor run on next Sunday in Lavey in Fox. So that's it. Make sure you're there in Lavey on Sunday. Fun and games and everything, and just have to see this girl driving up the tractor. You'll have to see her. She's just so elegant. It'd be lovely to see her. And please send a photo. Now that'd be a great photo next
Yes,
week.
we'll do
Send
that.
in the photo
That's-
next
yeah.
week
Yeah.
of
We will
Martina
do
driving
that.
the tractor. What kind of a
And-
tractor have you got?
Well, a John
Don't say
Deere.
a red one.
A John
So it's a
Deere
green
one.
It's a green
A
one,
John
yeah.
Deere, which is way too big for me. But anyway, I'm going to give it a go. When I say something, I follow through on it, and it's for a wonderful cause. And people have come in their droves to support for little Jake.
You're making such an impassioned. There's the camera, Martina. You talk to the camera. You've 1 minute to sell
Thank
the
you.
cause. Go.
Okay, so I urge all you viewers to check out our Facebook page. It's 4, that's the number 4, Lil Jake's Sake Facebook page, and on that are his account details where you can lodge directly. All those funds go towards the treatment and care of little Jake, whatever guise that might take. So to date, we've had amazing support. We are already crossed the 100,000 mark, and that's only since the 1st of May, but we've got lots more to do because we are in talks with some American hospitals for other treatments. So we need to be prepared for that, and that could take place very soon. So we have a lot done, but we have a lot more to do. I want to thank everybody that has supported us financially, emotionally, best wishes and prayers, they all help. And anybody that hasn't checked it out, please do so. And no matter how small, big, everything counts, and it will, I promise, all go towards Jake. And if not, it will go towards another child that definitely needs some care. So check out the page. You won't be disappointed. There are some fabulous photos of this little boy. He is truly amazing.
Beautiful.
He's gorgeous, and he's got everybody in Lavey mesmerised, and he's a special little boy. And I want to thank all my family, friends, neighbours in Lavey and beyond who have supported us to date and continue to support us.
Great stuff for little Jake's sake. And I'll give you the last word there, Catherine. You wanted the Noel Smith Memorial Fund. Do you want people to support that? Because
That's right. I
it'll
want
do
all the
good.
tractors out, hundreds of tractors out at the Lavey in 11:30 Sunday morning for registration. Fabulous day, 16 miles, I think. Good weather and everything in our
Guaranteed.
way, guaranteed, yes. So we'll see you all at 11:30 Sunday morning.
Well done, folks. You're a great example of neighbourly neighbours helping each other out. Well done. Good stuff. Okay, so folks, that's it for Cavan TV News and Views this week. I'd like to thank all my guests in the studio, to Martina Smith, to Michael Smith and Catherine Rudden, to my guests from Kilmore and Crostoni, Wendy Swan, Mary Morrow, and to Winston Heaslip. Well done to everybody. Thank you for coming in, and the best of luck with all your charities and your good work. So that's it for Cavan TV News and Views. It's Friday, it's the weekend, and do take care and see you same time next week.